Welcome to the On Deck podcast for all your baseball DFS needs with your superstar hosts, fantasy baseball experts, Casey, Bubba, and Bogman. On Deck podcast is sponsored by LineStar app, the #1 top-rated data and analytics tool for daily fantasy sports.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the On Deck MLB DFS podcast, brought to you by the wonderful people at LineStar Sports. Make sure you check them out on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar MLB. And most importantly, download the app in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store to give you everything you need in the palm of your hands to win your MLB DFS plays and all plays in other sports. You will not regret it, I promise. You can find myself on Twitter at BDentric, and my co-host is always on Twitter, and he's streaking, folks, at Bogman Sports. Scott Bogman, how we doing?
We're going streaking through
Love
the
it.
quad into the gymnasium. Let's go.
Let's go.
That second homer in a row. I went with Duvall, and he went home yard for the third night in a row. The Braves win on a walk-off hit by Jock Peterson after he smashed into the wall. That was a weird game, but nice back and forth game, but they ended up winning that one. Vladito went yard as well, so a fun day of baseball on that short slate.
Yeah, lots of interesting things taking place, that's for sure. And most of the pitchers surprisingly pitched decent. Like, it wasn't a blow up; it was all bullpen blow ups. So you had to have the big flies, and a lot of it was in Toronto and Atlanta for the most part. So enjoy it there. I know Ryan Humphreys, I don't know, he got his the night before. So yeah, you were the only one on Thursday night that got theirs. But we got 13 games for everybody on a Friday. It's going to be a loaded slate. So make sure you get the app and check out the On Deck podcast, because we'll get you going, and we'll kick it off with Colorado at Philadelphia on this one. We only have 6 totals out of the 13 games. So I'm just warning you guys now. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. They're slacking tonight. But we got German Marquez versus Bailey Falter. Marquez is 68 on DK. He's 91 on FanDuel. Falter's not priced on FanDuel. He's 5K on DK. Youngster, lefty, probably not going too deep in the game for Philly. Any interest in Marquez in this one?
No, just because his ERA on the road is over 5. So I just can't mess with Marquez here. There's a little PVB data against him too. GT Remuto 4 for 9 with a double and a triple, 4 for 10 for Harper with a double, 3 for 9 for Kutch with a double as well. Freddie Galvis, Segura have been hitting on the Colorado side. Story, Blackman, CJ Crone, and Brendan Rodgers all been smacking it. So I'm going to stick to strictly bats in this game.
Yeah, if you want to go with Philly, that's fine. If you want to go with Marquez, I understand it just for the value he brings you on DK. I would not use him on FanDuel at 91. Not a chance there. But I think Colorado's interesting. Like, I hate stacking the Rockies, especially on the road, but they got some guys that can hit lefties pretty well. You got Bailey Falter for a few innings and that Philadelphia bullpen, which has not been great. So if you want to go with some guys there like Cron and Hampson for cheap and some other options, you can, but I'm probably just fading this game. If not a little bit of Philly's value, Harper's just hitting everything right now. So if you want to go that route, you can. Toronto at Baltimore in this one. We have, no total on this one either. Robbie Ray versus Chris Ellis. Robbie Ray's 10-7 on DK, 11-2 on FanDuel. Ellis is 52 on DK. He's 56 on FanDuel. Robbie Ray is by far the top option on this slate.
Gotta pay him. You got to pay for him. He's easily the top option, like you said. But like TJ Watt, he deserves that money. So I'm all about Robbie Ray. And then, if you want to load up on expensive Blue Jays, I get it. Simeon, Teoscar, Vlad, of course, Gurriel, my son Alejandro Kirk has been good. Bo Bichette, all these guys have been great. So I like Robbie Ray, and then whatever you want to pick through the expensive Rays, pick through them. I'm all about it.
Yeah, I'm all about some of the Toronto bats with you. Those the Blue Jays should have a big one. Simeon, Kirk, Bichette went deep on Thursday. Vladito continues to go deep, as you said earlier. Gurriel's still a nice value. I'll say that much. He's still a nice value with Kirk and company if you want to be a little different. But they got that loaded offense in Camden Yards. Ellis has been okay, but not a big strikeout guy. So you don't want the Jays getting pitched to contact. It does not end well for you. New York Yankees at the New York Mets in this one, the Battle of New York. Jordan Montgomery versus Taijuan Walker. Montgomery's 94 on DK, 87 on FanDuel. And this is weird because I got Walker on DraftKings. I got Miguel on FanDuel. So let's see what the final verdict is from MLB.com, because they're usually good because there's no total in Vegas. So that tells me they're confused too. But if you're looking at Friday's action, and MLB.com does not want to work now. This is like literally their whole app. For those keeping track at home, this is what the app looks like right now. So
it says McGill on MLB.com.
Okay, so we're going Tyler McGill. So McGillicuddy, he's 8,100 on DK, and on FanDuel he is $7,000. Any interest in either pitcher?
Not really. I think I'm going to.
You made me do all that for neither pitcher on them.
Well, look, I had Walker, so I mean, you want to talk me into McGill? I mean,
no, I was being sarcastic. I said
okay, all right. I was going to say I'm the one who found out it was McGill. Anyway, I guess he's been okay. I just don't want to throw him in there against the Yanks. No. So for me, I'm going to stick to just bats here. Lindor, Dom Smith have been good. Pete Alonso, John VR. I mean, the Mets are hitting here. Pilar, I mean, Conforto, Baez, and then Stanton, Odor, LeMahieu. I'm going to stick to just bats in this game.
If Taijuan Walker starts this weekend, please play the Yankees. That's all I know, because I wanted to attack him hard. You can attack McGill, too. He's been quite the conundrum of late. I don't like it as much as Walker. Gardner is extremely cheap. He's been leading off the last like 2 or 3 games, so keep that in mind. But I love some Mets in this one. Javi Baez, he had a home run and 2 or 3 steals on Thursday. Pete Alonso had a triple. He's just been crushing everything lately, so I'll be starting my lineups with those two if I'm stacking up the Mets and building from there. So lots to like in those matchups when it comes to the Mets against Jomo in that matchup. Milwaukee at Cleveland, Adrian Hauser versus Eli Morgan. Hauser is 79 on DK, 84 on FanDuel. Morgan is 71 on DK, 73 on FanDuel. Hauser might be worth an SP2.
I mean, he's got to be in play. You know, I kind of said, hey, look, I'm not going to go back to him after one good start, and then he throws a complete game shutout. So I think he's got to be in play, which kind of takes Cleveland bats off of this slate for me. And then, you know, look, Eduardo Escobar, Colton Wong, Christian Yelich, Locane, Luis Urias. I like what the Brewers have been doing here. So I'll stick to Hauser and maybe some Brewers bats.
Yeah, I like Hauser as an SP2 on DK for sure. And I think Milwaukee, especially on DraftKings, is mispriced on this one. So you get some discounted plays like Escobar and Yelich and Wong and Peterson and company. They could be a nice cheap stack for you on this slate and a good matchup versus Eli Morgan. So I don't mind Milwaukee at all. And using some Hauser as an SP2, definitely in play for you on this one. Tampa Bay at Detroit. Tampa Bay is going to have the Waka opener followed by Chris Archer. And then they're facing Matt Boyd. So any pitching for you on this one?
No, I mean, I wish if Waka wasn't going to do the opening bit, I think I might be into him. But I don't want an opener. No, thank you. So I'll just stick to bats here. Luplow is a 4 for 16 with 2 bombs against Boyd. Nelly Cruz has been hot. Brandon Lau, Wander Franco, Joey Wendell. And then on the Detroit side, Robbie Grossman, Candelario. Miguel has been hitting a little bit. Scope has been back with it. So I'll just stick to bats here.
Yep. Rays are my favorite stack tonight. So I'll be all in on that. Love Nelly Cruz. Love
Matthew Boyd? What's your problem?
I love home runs is what I love. And Nelson Cruz is full of those. And Luplow, like I didn't even know the BVP till you mentioned it, but super cheap on both sides. He was hitting 5th or 6th versus the lefty earlier this week. He went deep. That's what Luplow does, face lefties. This is what he does. So enjoy the discount while you can. Arozarena, he could be back from paternity leave. He's either back Friday or Saturday. So if he comes back, that's another big piece of the pie there. There's a lot to like. And Zunino crushes lefties. So enjoy that. He's priced up to $5K on DK, so you got to pay for him now. But he destroys left-handed pitching.
Just take my son, Alejandro Kirk, if he's starting.
Yeah, he's discounted for you. I'm with you. But Rays are very much in play, and I don't mind the Tiger side of it. Like you mentioned, Candy, Grossman, Baду, all very affordable. You can go other plays if you want, but just a mini Tiger stack to kind of wet the whistle goes a long, long ways. Miami at Atlanta. This one, Tyler Rogers making, I believe, his second or third start off the IL. Anderson making his 3rd start off the IL. Rogers is 84 on DK, 92 on FanDuel, where Anderson is 66 and 78. Anderson's super cheap, so he's in play for me, but he's been so bad. He hasn't struck out a guy since
his last 2 starts and no strikeouts, like he just said. I can't do it. Rogers either. He didn't go deep enough in his first start. This is only his 2nd start. They're babying him. Marlins don't need him to go deep. So I'll stick to just bats here. And Dansby, 3 for 5 with 3 doubles off of Rogers. Obviously, a lot of hot bats on the Atlanta side. Adam Duvall leading that charge. Ozzy Albies, Jorge Soler, Austin Riley, Freddie Freeman, and not a lot of hotness over on the Miami side, which makes me kind of want to be in on Anderson, but those 0 strikeout games just scare me away. Rojas, De La Cruz, Jesus Sanchez, nobody pretty much. They stick Jesus Aguilar on the IL and they got nothing left after that.
Yeah, that's why it kind of stinks. Like Miami's usually what gets you right. So I can see using Anderson as an SP2 at 6,600 on DK. I assume he's going to be super chalky just for that reason. But I get it, because if you can't get it fixed here, just shut it down for the year, kid. That's just the way I see it. So that angle's one. Otherwise, I like the Brave stack, as you mentioned. Keep riding that, because Rogers probably won't go deep. You get that bullpen, which they destroyed on Thursday. Probably get to him again on Friday. If you are stacking Miami, Jazz Chisholm went deep for you on Thursday. He's super affordable leading off, or hitting second behind Miguel Rojas.
Yeah.
Then you got like De La Cruz and Sanchez. It's not pretty, but they're super cheap. Like if you want 2 pricey bats or pitchers to go with the pricey bats, you can play Miami, especially if Anderson's chalky. Like I see the angle there.
If you want to pay $5,000 for Mike Zunino, right?
Yes, exactly. See, you're same Brian. Right?
Same.
You got it. You're picking up what I'm putting down. Let's move on to something else that I'm going to put down. It's Boston at the Chicago White Sox. Carlos Rodon making his return from the IL, or just the brief stint on getting his shoulder fixed, going up against Tanner Houck. And Rodon is 10-3 on DK, 10-8 on FanDuel. Houck is 88 on DK, 89 on FanDuel. I love Tanner Houck, but I can't pay that price when they don't let him pitch.
Yeah, it can't do it. And can't do it on Rodon either. He's been so great this year, but I don't want guys coming off the IL. I'll actually stick to just bats here. Renfroe, Schwarber, Dahlbeck. Dahlbeck has been amazing. JD Martinez, Rafael Devers, Verdugo, Danny Santana. Like, I'm going to take some of these hot Boston bats, and then I'm okay. They're not going to let Houck go deep, but like you just said, Grant Dahl, Garcia, Lubob, Jose Abreu, Cesar Hernandez. So yeah, I'll stick just bats here.
Yeah, I like a little Boston action here going. The footings they get with Rodon, and then that bullpen there. You mentioned Dahlbeck, super cheap. You can mix in some other pieces. Otherwise, it's just a weird game that I might just avoid altogether. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim at the Houston Astros. Framber Valdez, Shohei Ohtani. Framber's 91 on DK, 10-5 on FanDuel. Ohtani's 86 on DK, 10,000 on FanDuel. Don't mind either pitcher. Really love Framber tonight.
I really love Ohtani, because Ohtani has 2 10 strikeout games this year. One of them was against these Astros. So I love Ohtani, but I mean, I got Framber Valdez. Robbie Ray's my 1, Ohtani's 2, Valdez is my 3, and then I have 3 other secondary guys that I like. So which makes me not want any hitting in this game at all. So I will just stick to pitching here.
Yeah, no hitting from me either. I like both pitchers. Love Framber just to get a bounce back, because the Angels are just that bad. So I'm on board that train for sure. Kansas City at Minnesota. And this one, we got Griffin Jacks taking on Daniel Lynch. Looking at either guy as a punt option for you tonight?
Nope. I'm going to pass on those guys, and I will stick to bats here. I mean, we know some of these KC bats have been hot. Salvi Perez, Adalberto Mondesi, Whit Merrifield, Nicky Lopez, Benintendi. And then on the Minnesota side, Sano has been hitting, Jorge Polanco, Luis Arraez. So I will stick to just bats here.
Yeah, I like bats quite a bit. I will say, if you just want to go YOLO with your punting, yes, I used it again just for you. Daniel Lynch is $5,300. We've seen him throw up 20-point games. We've seen him throw up -4-point games. So he's literally all or nothing, and Minnesota can scuffle a lot. But I prefer the bats in this game.
Have you seen the Lonely Island YOLO video?
No, I have not. I guess you'll have to send that to me.
We're going to be watching that after we're done with this for sure. So.
It's my punishment, I can already tell. But yeah, I like some Minnesota bats. You mentioned Polanco, Donaldson, Sano. They're getting pricey, though, so keep that in mind, but they're definitely in play. Love the Kansas City side with Salvi, Witt, Nicky Lopez went deep on Thursday. Super affordable. Benintendi's affordable, so you can have some fun there as well. Cincinnati at the St. Louis Cardinals in this one. We got Tyler Mahle, Johnny Lester. Mahle's 99 on DK, 99 on FanDuel. Lester is 58 on DK, 61 on FanDuel. I just like bats in this game.
I like Mahle. Look, St. Louis hasn't been their hottest recently, and Mahle, 17 innings pitched in 3 starts, 6 earned runs at the 3.18 ERA against St. Louis with 22-7 strikeouts to walks. So I'm in on Mahle, which makes me out on St. Louis bats. Castellanos is 7 for 16 with 3 bombs and a double against Leicester. Eugenio Suarez is 16 for 45 with 3 doubles and 6 homers against Leicester. I mean, Leicester's been in the league for 1,000 years. India, Aquino, Votto, Naquin have all been hitting. Tyler O'Neill has been pretty good recently. So if you're not going with Molly, I guess go with him. What other Cardinals bats do you like here, Bob?
I don't like a ton of Cardinals bats. I'm just not paying the price for Molly, who barely pays off $9,900. That's my biggest thing. He gets you like 22 points once in a blue moon, but more often than not, it's like 15, and I can get that from someone else for cheaper.
Gotcha.
That's my logic there. Like, it's not that I don't like Molly. They just finally priced him up where I'm like, no, I can't.
I just like him against the Cardinals. So
yeah.
I don't think I've been in on Molly his last 3 or 4 starts.
He's been great on the road this year. So I understand the logic. I get it. I'm just not going to be there on this one. What I do like is the Cincinnati side of this, like you mentioned. I like India quite a bit, and his price has gone down a little bit, which is nice. Lester, Casty, and then see where they pencil in some of these other guys. You got some sneaky, like the Acuna, like you mentioned. Suarez is cheap, maybe Farmer. Like, see what the lineup looks like. But you can get some affordable Reds who used to be really pricey, not so much anymore. 3 games left on this 13-game slate of action for you. Make sure you guys check out LineStar on the YouTube channel and give the old subscribe and the thumbs up over there. Or if you just prefer to listen to podcasts, give us a rating and review on iTunes. We truly would appreciate it. And it'll help us out quite a bit. Texas at Oakland on this one. We have Glenn Otto versus Pete. I believe it's Pete or Paul. Paul Blackburn. Glenn Otto is 63 on DK, 79 on FanDuel. Blackburn is 6K and 7K. Going for either of these guys as cheap options.
No, I mean, I don't particularly like the bats here, but look, the range has been hitting a little bit. So Jason Martin has been hitting, Solak, Yanni Hernandez, TJ Peters, Jose Trevino, Nathaniel Lowe, and not Nate Lowe. These guys have all been hitting, and on the Oakland side, Canna, Chapman, Marte, Tony Kemp. So I will stick to only bats.
Yeah, I don't mind if you want to go Otto as a cheapie because Oakland can be very, very quiet at times and strikeout happy. But I prefer bats in this one. I like the value of Texas again. So you mentioned Solak, Nathaniel Lowe, Leody Tavares, some of those options for sure. And DJ Peters, those are like my favorites on that one. And then if you want to bring it back with some Oakland bats, Chapman's crushing it right now. You got Olsen, but Harrison's a very good value. You got Lowry as a good value. There's some options like Marte's expensive, but he's awesome. So there's definite options there. It's just, man, that Oco Coliseum on a night game, it all just doesn't do much there. So you'll have to kind of wait and see how that goes. San Diego at the Los Angeles Dodgers. Musgrove, Urias. This should be a good one. Musgrove is 96 on DK, 94 on FanDuel. Urias is 93 on DK, 96 on FanDuel. I love Julio Urias tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's been pretty solid. I like Musgrove too. He's been pretty decent recently. Tougher draw against the Dodgers, of course, but I think I kind of like both these guys, which kind of makes me not in on too many bats here. I mean, if you want to play the big dogs like Turner, Fernando Tatis, Machado, I get it, but I think I like both sides of the pitching here.
Yep, I like the pitching for sure. I will be off the bats in this one. So give me Urias. I don't mind Musgrove, but give me Urias in this one, and hopefully he goes at least 6 innings. Arizona at Seattle to finish this evening off. You got Bumgarner versus Marco Gonzalez. Mad Bum is 85 on DK, 83 on FanDuel. Marco Gonzalez is 83 on DK, 81 on FanDuel. You want any of these old lefties?
David Peralta is an old lefty that I like in this game. Nick Ahmed, Dalton Varsho, and then some of these Mariners have been hitting. Haniger's 3 for 6 with a bomb off of Bumgarner. Seager, Abraham Toro, JP Crawford has been hitting a little bit. So I'll stick. The only old lefty I like is Peralta.
There you go. I like how you played that one out there. But give me throw Ty France in that Seattle mix as well, and throw some Christian Walker out there with some Ketel Marte. It's interesting. I don't think it's a great game to stack because it's 2 offenses that are stagnant, but at the same time, these pitchers get shelved from time to time. So could be an interesting game. Not one of my favorites in a 13-game slate to force, basically. All right, recapping things real quick. Bogman, who are your pitchers on this 13-game slate?
I like Robbie Ray, Shohei Ohtani, Framber Valdez. I'll throw Urias in there as first option, secondary options of Hauser, Molly, and Musgrove.
Give me Robbie Ray, Julio Urias, and Framber Valdez in my top 3, followed by some Shohei Ohtani, some Adrian Hauser, and I'll throw some Musgrove in there as well in my second section. And then, punting wise, you got your Marquez, your Andersons, your Ottos, but I'm not in love with really anything down there. Who are you stacking up on this slate?
I think Toronto at Baltimore, the Yankees at the Mets, Tampa Bay at Detroit, as you mentioned before, and Oakland versus Texas.
Yeah, like the Toronto, Colorado, I know I shouldn't do it, but it seems very, very enticing. Yankees, like Tampa Bay. I think Milwaukee sneaky. We talked about some of those guys that could be kind of flying under the radar there, so that could be a fun one to attack. And then that Kansas City, Minnesota game has some interest in for me as well, but Tampa Bay is where I'm planting my flag on this one. And speaking of planting your flags, if you follow LineStar on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar MLB, you'll get all the great content, the news, the home run calls, the lineups, all that great stuff, plus the home run calls of the day. So I recommend you check that out. And when you get the home run calls from Bogman, myself, and Ryan Humphreys, you retweet that tweet. 3 lucky retweeters will be picked at random to be paired with each one of us. And if our guy goes deep, you win some free swag. So Bogman, going for 3 nights in a row, who you rolling with?
Give me Nick Castellanos. I like him to go yard tonight. Good PVB data and just constantly hot. Cork that bat and hit another one, Castellanos. Let's go.
I love it. I love it. I'm going to one that listeners should have figured out a long time ago on this show. Give me Nelson Cruz. Nelson Cruz taking Matt Boyd deep. So I'm going Whoa Nelly versus a lefty in his old, stomp division. Like, well, he's been in a bunch of divisions, but
I
now that I thought about that. Yeah, now that I thought about that out loud, I'm like, yeah, never mind. Bad take, Bubba. Well, it's like your 12th one today. There you go. But so give me Nelson Cruz against Matt Boyd. You're going Nick Castellanos against Johnny Lester. We'll see who Mr. Humphreys picks as well as we go to give you guys. Like, I think we've given away free swag at least every day this week. I think, or maybe not Monday, but we've had a good run this week, getting people back in action. So let's finish the week off with a bang, no pun intended. And we got big NFL Week 1 action on tap as well. So I got to let you guys know. Check out the Pre-Snap podcast with myself and Bogman. We previewed our betting picks of the week that dropped on Thursday. On Friday, the Week 1 main slate DraftKings FanDuel preview will be dropping as well. So go check out the Pre-Snap podcast. Get your NFL Week 1 action ready there. Then check out the LineStar app when you download it from the app stores and make some money. We'll be back with you guys on Monday with 3 weeks of baseball left to go. Make sure you follow Bogman on Twitter at Bogman Sports. I'm Matt Entick. See you guys later.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the LineStar app On Deck podcast. Download LineStar app from the App Store or go to LineStarApp.com for all your DFS baseball needs. If you love the On Deck podcast, support KC, Bubba, and Bogman by rating and subscribing. Good luck.